Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to learn about the Python OR function. Alright, if you are new to this channel, I am Walako. Let's dive right in. The Python OR function takes in iterables as an argument. It will return true if all the elements in the iterables are true, which means the elements are non-zero or non-empty string. If not, it returns false. Iterables are Python objects that can be looped over using for loop. Examples are list, dictionary, string, tuple, and set. Let's head over to the script.python file to demonstrate how the Python OR function works with lists. We are going to declare a variable here. I'll call it numList, right? Which I'll assign a list to it, and this list are actually going to be non-zero. So what we can do is let's just print out first of all. Okay, I will store the result into the result variable that I just declared and call the OR function on it, then pass in our list. So these values are non-zero, right? So we should expect true from the result. So let's pass in the result that we have, and then we can run our script and see if everything is working well. Okay, good. So here we have true value, and that is what exactly we are actually expecting. Now, if for instance we change this one to 0, which means that we are going to have a 0 as an element within the list, we should be expecting our results should be false, right? So when we run the script again, we have false being returned to us. Okay, so let's comment out what we've done so far and create a new list, which is going to be a string list, right? And we are going to pass in true again, then the last one is going to be false. Okay, so let's try this one also and see. And here I'm just going to print it to the console, and now pass in the string list here. This one we should expect true because all the value are non-empty string. So we should expect true. So when I run the script, that's what we had. Now if I change this one to be empty, we are going to get false, and that is what we just have here. Okay, now we can also comment out this one and try another list. So this one is going to be boolean list, and it's actually going to be, let's say, true and false. Now with this one, the output is going to be false because we have a false in here, right? So let's just run the script to or print out the results to our console and see. So we have a boolean here, and then let me run it. So we have here being false. When we change this one to true, then everything, our output should be true, right? So let's run it again. Yes, so this is what we have here. I am going to define a function just to demonstrate on the basic level how the Python OR function works. Okay, so let's comment out this one. so that we can define our own function. I'll call it div our all, then it's going to take in a list, and we are actually going to use the num list to just demonstrate that. So let's go here and then come in here. What we are going to do next is to do a check on the items. So we are going to use for in loop on the list. Then we will perform a check here, which we said if num is less than or equal to 0, then we are going to return false. Else, if it is not, and you're able to loop through all the elements, return true. It means that all the elements in our list are non-zero, right? So we can therefore return true. So what we are going to do next is to print out a to the console to see. Okay, so we're going to have our all function here. Then we'll pass in the non list, and just to make sure we are using our function we just defined, and then I'll go ahead to also pass in the Python built-in function, right? Okay, so we can go ahead and run the code and see. Let me just clear the console here. Okay, so let's go ahead and run the code. Okay, realize that we have it. Ours also display false, and here also display false, right? Now let's change this one to 5, and we should, our results should return true. Okay, so we have, so on a basic level, this is how the all function, the Python built-in function, is working. Okay, all right, so let's move on to tuple, how the Python all function work with tuple, right? So in tuple, I'm just going to copy the data that we have here, and then I'll just paste it here, right? And I'll only change the name to tuple. Okay, so tuple work with parentheses, so I'll just change this one to parentheses, and then I'll print out the results to the console. Okay, so I'll do num tuple here, and we should expect true in here. Okay, let me clear the console. All right, so let's run the script and see. Okay, let's uncomment this one. Sorry, let's comment out this ones rather. Let's run the code again. Okay, so let me clear the screen and run the code again. All right, so we got through here, and that's what actually we are expecting, right? Now let's change it. Let's change this value to 0, and we have it to be false. Okay, so let's comment out this one and declare a string tuple. So string tuple. All right, So we are going to pass in string value here. Okay, so that's all that we have. Now let's print the value to the console. So let's pass in our all function, then we pass in the string tuple here. Okay, so let's clear the console and then run the code again. We had true, and that's what we are expecting because the values are non-empty strings, right? So let me just change this one to an empty string and we are going to get false. Yes, we had it right. Okay, so that is how all function work with tuple as well. Now let's move on to set. So I'm just going to copy this value here, right, and then drop it here. Okay, so what do I need to change is, okay, let me just say string set, and I'm just going to change this parentheses to curly braces, right? Okay, so now you can guess what will be our output. What will be our output? Okay, so our output actually is going to be false, and because there's an empty string in our element. So let's run the script. Oh, what just happened? Let me run the script again. Okay, good. So we have it returning false. Okay, all right. So when we replace the empty string with an actual value, so it's going to return true. Okay, so likewise, if we pass in a num set, like, so what is it? 1, 2, 3, maybe we have our 4 elements here. So let's just pass in this one, and here we should expect true. Okay, so let's print it out, and that is what we have here. Okay, let me just clear the console and just run it again. We have it here. Now we can change this one to 0, or better still, we can change it to false, and it's going to work. So first, one of the elements is false. We are going to have the results being false, right? Sorry, I have to change this one to false. Okay, so let me clear the console and run the script again. Good, so we have it too. All right, let's move on to dictionary and demonstrate how the Python all function work with dictionary object, right? All right, so here we are going to declare another dictionary value. Okay, and so here we'll pass in 1, and then the value is going to be 1, and also this one is going to be 2, and the value is going to be 2, and we have this one is going to be 3, and going to be 3. Okay, so let's pass in 4 elements, right? So all right, the Python all function uses the keys within the dictionary to perform the operations that we want it to perform for us. Okay, so when we print out this result, we should have our output being true. Now, being true, we should have our output being true because the keys are actually non-zero element. I can even change this one to an empty string, and we are still going to have this result returning true. Okay, so let's clean our console and run our script. Okay, so when we run it, sorry, let me just comment out this one here. Okay, let me clear the screen again, and then let's run it. Okay, so we have it to be true, which means that the OR function is not basing its operation on the values, but rather the keys, right? So that's how it works. So for instance, if we want to work with only the keys, so let me just retrieve all the keys from the dect values. So keys here, so I've retrieved all the keys. So let's just pass the keys into the OR function, and we are going to have the same results. Good. So that's how it works. Now let's say, for instance, we want to use the value itself, right? The values, and we pass in values here. Now, so let's pick this one. We are going to have it returning false. So we are going to have it returning false. And can you guess why is it going to return false? So let me just run the script. Yes, so it returned false. Why did it return false? It's because the fourth element value is what is empty string, and every empty string is actually a false value, right? So I have a challenge for you, and let's check the challenge that we have. So we have given 5 challenges here. Look into the challenges, then comment down below the possible answers when you use the Python OR function. If you found value in the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video. That is it. See you.